Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching today. I am trying so hard to catch a moment. There's some construction happening across the street and I keep hearing all this noise. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try really hard to catch a moment before it kicks up again. So if you hear a small hum in the background, that's what it is. But if it really starts coming in hardcore, we're just gonna have to pause. But I wanted to do my favorites today. Okay, so thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I haven't had it that long. And I don't know that I can really legitimately say it's a favorite, but I've used it every day since I've got it. I've had it for more than a week. And it's this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm in Lightgasm. So it's this 4-pan palette. The bronzer, I think out of all of them, I like the bronzer, but it's not the one that I love the most. I love the highlight, but these two have been a huge surprise for me because I normally am not a shimmery blush topper or shimmery blush. I usually like more of a satin or a matte blush once we start getting into that glowy, because was it last summer when the Wet n Wild did those really shimmery, glowy hummingbird blushes, and I was like, no, probably not. But I love it. I have it on my eyes today. I have it on my face today. I can't stop wearing this. And I find that I've been going for the ultimate easy, so concealer, powder, this wherever I want it, eyes and face, and it's just, it goes fast and it's beautiful. I love this. All right, I've kind of changed up my priming game. We're almost beginning of May as I'm recording this, and we're starting to warm up. We're still kind of like in the 70s here where I live in Eastern Washington. And I'm back into Tarte's Timeless Smoothing Primer. I have the limited edition mermaid packaging, but this stuff, I forgot how good it was. I've been trying so many other things and trying to see if I really love something or could I get rid of it. And this pressed right in here in my pores. I have a lot of little tiny pores that are a little bit more obvious than I thought they would be right here on my septum. That's kind of a weird thing. So I press it in here all over the nose, and then if I forget to take it down through here and the edges of my nostrils, it's really quite obvious because it does such a great job. But I love that. Also paired with Tatcha's Silk Canvas. Love. That's beautiful. And I'm not sure how much longevity it gives, but it makes for such a gorgeous smooth base. I feel I can get away with murder. All right. I have been wearing mostly concealer and powder. And my two favorite concealers this month, I rediscovered the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away. I don't know if you can see, I'm almost halfway through this little guy here. I have the shade number 2. It leans a little pink. And so I have a hard time pairing this with foundations. I do have one of the Charlotte Tilbury foundations, but you can really see how dramatically pink this is. But the other one that I don't know if it's a bad love affair, I won't try anything else. I wore this basically all month, last month, this month, and then I started pulling this and I'm like, oh yeah, you're good too. But this has kind of been everything that I wanted. And sometimes, and this is silly, I use it like foundation. I'll just take it and swipe here. Oh, let me get my nose. Oh, let me get my chin. Oh, put a little on my forehead. Oh, let me get my hyperpigmentation spots. And the next thing I know, I have it everywhere. And I just blend it in like foundation, and it's gorgeous. I love it. Now, on the days I do want to wear foundation, the only one I have been really going for, and I did a video about this, and I'll link it for you, but is the Colourpop No Filter Stick. I am surprised at how much I love this. I am wearing this today. I feel like it's a foundation for somebody who wants a little bit of evening out the skin tone. It doesn't really hide a lot of stuff. It does knock down some hyperpigmentation. It does knock down some redness, but it's very, I would say it's light to buildable, maybe light to light medium, maybe not even a full-on medium coverage. It's very much a bare-faced foundation, and maybe that's just how I apply it. I've never wanted more coverage than that, so a couple of swipes of this on my face, forehead, nose, and chin, and then I just blend it out either with a sponge or a brush, and it works really, really well. I tend to like it a little bit better with a sponge. And this one, I have been liking the sponge too. This is the Loreal sponge. I had never tried it before, and I'm looking for a less expensive alternative to the Beauty Blender. All right, but I do love this foundation, so let's talk sponges. I have tried, where are the rest of these over here? All right, So I have only one traditional beauty blender left. This is like the really pale pink one that was in collab with Too Faced, or I don't remember what color it was. It was a last year special edition, and it's damp right now. And my goal is when I dampen a sponge to start feeling other ones and think, okay, are you close? I have one here from Eco Tools that's a lot more rigid. I love the way this feels. I love the way it's shaped. And I have used a beauty blender since I discovered it like 5 or 6 years ago, and I have never been without. And this is kind of like my last one, and I'm like, do I really want to keep spending, you know, $20 a sponge? And I usually buy them in packs, so they're a little bit less expensive. But the idea of a piece of sponge being sold for 20 bucks, even if I get it on sale, even if I get a multi-pack, it's still just like, it's hard for me. So this is the Eco Tools. This one, I love the sides here. I'll show you. It already has a few gouges in it. I know I have longer nails, or not even really long. They just go beyond the tips a little bit. And wringing it out, it's a little bit more stiff. It's not my favorite. I do love the angles on this, and I do love the size of this. But this is probably not going to be a repurchase for me. I have one of these sponges from Pure. And I don't know what happened to this one. It has this weird little crinkle in it. It's been that way for a long time. Too stiff. I don't like it. I picked up 2 sponges from Flower Beauty. I heard everybody rave about this one, and this one is new. I feel like they both pick up a lot of product. And I don't mean that in a pick it up off the back of my hand and pounce it in. I mean, like, once you've already pounced it in, if you continue to go over it, it lifts product up. Now, there have been a couple of times when I needed some product lifted because I had applied too much. This works great for that. I do love how sharp this little corner is right here. It's perfect for corners of my nose, like right up under the eye. But these aren't my favorites. And the fact that they're in the $8 range, this one feels more Beauty Blender-like. This one feels just a hair more rigid. It works. I'll use them both until they're needing to be tossed, but I wouldn't repurchase these. The ones that I really think do a great job is this pink L'Oreal sponge, and I've heard a lot of people, I'm like, hide the place where I used it today. But I love it, and I tend to, which is weird because it's so large up top, I tend to use this more and this to pounce it in, less than the bottom of it. I don't use the little butt of it, but I love this sponge. It's nice. It has just a little bit more heft to it. It's a hair more rigid, but not in a I'm pounding myself in the face sort of way. I think the one that is the most beauty blender-like in texture is this. This is a Real Techniques. And normally I'm used to seeing them orange. They have this new, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It has little tiny flecks of glitter in there. I don't know if you can see that. There is a small gouge in it. If you're not careful wringing it out with your hands, I've started enveloping mine in a washcloth to wring it out so that I don't end up gouging it with my nails. But I feel like this doesn't last as long as a beauty blender, but at under $5, I don't care. And I do love this edge. So, fail, meh, and I love these. So these are my 2 recommendations. If you're looking for a sponge that's similar to the Beauty Blender, that's soft and works really well. Now let me know. Are you still a dyed-in-the-wool Beauty Blender kind of person? Or have you found something that I haven't mentioned that you're like, you have to try? Let me know down below. All right, I'm gonna put my sponges aside. This is funny because when I first got this fall, I was like, oh no, not at all. Oh, why did I spend my money on this? I'm never repurchasing this. And then somehow at the beginning, maybe late March, early April, I started reaching for it because I remember it had a beautiful glow to it. And then I started using it in a place I had told myself it didn't work for me, and it started working for me. And it's a Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. So it has a very light, basically it's a very pale pink, but it has a glow to it. It's very finely milled. It's really a gorgeous powder. Now, some people don't really like the smell, and here's the thing with the scent. Yes, I see what you're saying. I open it up, I can smell it, but it doesn't like punch me in the face. And I don't feel like the scent lingers, so it doesn't really bother me. Some people really don't like it. If you're sensitive to scents, you may want to check it out before you purchase. But I was sure it didn't work for me under the eyes. It works beautifully for me under the eyes. And the only thing I can think of is that my skin was transitioning to colder weather, and then every time I tried it this winter, my skin was like, oh no. So maybe this is something that works for me. I have mostly normal, but right around here I have a lot of oils, and a little bit dry under the eyes. So I'm very much combination on my face. But I feel like, I don't know whether it's the skincare that I've changed on my face that now allows this to work so beautifully for me or what, but I really like it. And I didn't even know that I'd been reaching for it. Just like, oh yeah, let me use this, let me use this. And the next thing I realized is like, this is kind of the only powder I've used all month. Well, this is a lot. I really like this. So I know I told you it really shouldn't be a favorite, but it's all I've been using for the last month. But before I got that, the rest of the month, these were the two products that I was using incessantly. Hold it straight. Hoola Lite for bronzer, and the Natasha Denona Glow. This is not the Super Glow or the Extreme Glow or the Mega Glow. I don't know what it's called, but it's not her like really revved up version of a highlighter. This is just the original first one that she released, and it's gorgeous. I absolutely love this. This is in the shade 1. I've been using these guys kind of nonstop all month until this came in, and this kind of was like, goodbye. I have been doing looks from actual eyeshadow palettes instead of just bronzer in the crease, highlight on the lid. And the two palettes that I've been reaching for, this one here is the Sweet Talk palette from Colourpop. I really, really love this. I feel like this poor little Super Shock here, I've dug into it so much. I feel like I need to press it back in because it keeps like overflowing its boundaries. But it's really pretty, it's really gorgeous, and it still does feel very Super Shocky even though it's not in a little container. They found a way to make it so it doesn't dry out. I haven't used the glitters as much as I thought, but the rest of the shades in here, these peachy tones, I've been wearing a lot of peach, and these peachy tones are just beautiful. I really like this. I wasn't sure I was going to really love it. I knew I was going to like it, I didn't know I was going to love it, and it's really, I would say 60% of the time, if I'm wearing eyeshadow, it's that. The other 40% of the time, it's this. It's the Friendcation palette. I picked it up during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty sale. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I know that a lot of these more matte shades through here, I have in other places, but I don't have this formula. And then the shimmery glitters in through here are absolutely incredible. So if you like glittery shimmer shadows, and a nice mix. I don't know if it's going to go on sale again. I know it's limited edition. I know I've seen it at my local Ulta, but it's back to that $55 price. It's beautiful. I love it, and I can see myself reaching for that a lot this summer. Brows, I'm still in love with this. This is the iconic London Brow Sculpt and Boost Cushion. I had been, for all of last month, this came in my March BoxyCharm. I had been using it with this little guide that comes here. It's a hinged, angled brush and spoolie. And you know, I finally gave up on that because my brows were either too much or not enough. I finally started using just my double-ended Anastasia pen brush, and I get better application with this. I don't dip this in like I had been doing before. I just use the angled brush and I fill in my patches. And then once I feel like I am not getting too much color coming off this way, I use this right here and just start brushing up to give a very slight hint, not a very heavy or dark look, right here at the beginning. And then, excuse me, and then I set it all with Benefit's Give Me Brow. That's kind of been my go-to brows. And then there have been days when I'm like, I need something fast. And I'm back in love with the CoverGirl, what are you, Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I have the shade Soft Brown. I think it's a really, really nice drugstore pencil, and it works. So I'm totally in love with the fact that glossy lips are having a moment. Because for years and years and years, it was all about the matte liquid lipstick, And people still love a matte liquid lip, but I see more and more people wearing glossy lips. And I really love that look. And I think for most of this month, I've been wearing some traditional lipsticks, but the one thing that I continue to reapply and reapply and reapply is gloss. All right, this one I'm almost out of. It is Colourpop's Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Here's to You. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like scraping the sides of the walls to get something out. It's a beautiful color, but I'm like, I'm gonna need another one. I like the price on these. I like the little teeny tiny brush applicator. I love the way it looks, and that Here's to You is a slightly sparkly baby pink, but not really too pinky. I also have really been enjoying the So Juicy. I've been using quite a lot of it. It's like down to here. I use this regularly. I keep this in my purse. I pulled it out for this video. And another one, I realized that my mom walked away with my other one. My mom had been visiting for a while, and every time she comes, she wants to know what's the latest and greatest in makeup. And so I showed her my Marc Jacobs, what are you called? This is the Enamored Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick. So I had one in Black Cherry that she fell in love with, and she took it. I gave it to her, and then she quit using it, and then I thought she'd left it, and then she's like, oh no, I like that. So she took it, and I was like, oh. So I need another Black Cherry. But this one here is in Sugar Sugar, and it's like the perfect gloss that's almost not there. So if you're wanting something to keep your lips hydrated, something a little bit more glamorous than maybe, I don't know, a lip balm, this is kind of like my lip balm, and I love this color. If you are a lover of nudes, you might already be in love with the regular Enamored gloss in Sugar Sugar. I think that it's a little too light for me, but somehow this works, and I love it. Let's just talk a few fails. Sorry, more. I remember mentioning how I was struggling with Urban Decay's Brow Blade, and it was mostly the colors that weren't working for me. So I took it back to my Ulta, and I had been wanting something that had liquid ink on the other side. And so I decided to pick up this. This is from MAC. This is the Shape and Shade Brow Tint. The shade is Spiked. I've had a regular brow pencil in Spiked before, which I really like, so I knew the shade would work. And this is what I was looking for. This little teeny tiny, very small, you know, right there, being able to kind of marker in your brows. And I was like, great. Does it work? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. Is the shade good? Yes. Does it pull purple? No. That was the problem I was having with the Brow Blade. The one thing that I don't like about it is on the other end, they have this, and there's, of course, there's a cat hair. Ugh, a cat. This is a sponge tip applicator, and it has a darker, more ashy, kind of like a, it's not really a powder, it's more like a cream. It's hidden in the cap, and it's spring loaded. So every time you put this on, that sponge tip is shoved up in there. But I have a hard time distributing it with the sponge tip. I have a hard time if I just take one of these guys and put this in the cap. I feel like I end up, it dries nicely, it blends nicely, but if you're applying it with the sponge tip, it's really patchy. And that's kind of a big time fail for me. And I think I would have liked this product better had it just been this, just the marker. Had it just given me the ability to draw in, and of course you can do it a lot finer than that, lighter pressure, you know, and you get really thin hair-like strokes. I think I would have been much happier if it was just this, or maybe two ends, two different shades of just that. And I know why they put this there, and I can see the color difference here, but I don't like the product in this. And this is kind of making me go, you were 20, how many dollars? I think it's $22. And it's still something I'm wanting to play with a little bit more. I love one end of it, not the other. Right now it's in my, and I'm not excited to use it. And I definitely want to be excited to use a product that for brows that costs $22. I really, really do. All right, one thing that I was excited to try and I am sad doesn't work for me is from Pure. It's their fully charged mascara. So the problem that I have with this, I'm wearing it today. This is like the third time that I've worn it and I was like, this is not good. So this eye doesn't water, but this eye waters perpetually right out of this outside little corner. And so I've started to lose the mascara here and especially down here. So I have like mascara, and then like these last little set of lashes on the bottom. You really can't see anything there because they look like they're invisible because there's no mascara. Because the instant it gets wet, it just starts to, like, I would very carefully like do this and dab, and I was covered in mascara. And so for my needs, because I have watery eyes, people always ask me, why are you crying? I'm not crying. Oh, it's just a watery eye. I was watching my daughter play basketball and somebody thought I was crying. They're like, they're doing great. I'm like, it's not that. It's just my eye always waters. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I also feel like this is a little heavy, and after curling my lashes, they were nice and up. Then they started to fall a little bit. So it doesn't hold my curl as well. And it definitely is one of those that even the smallest little tear seems to make the mascara vanish. I heard really good things about this. I was excited to get a sample, and I'm sad that it doesn't work for me. But I have very specific needs when it comes to mascara. So there you go, favorites and fails. A couple of fails and a lot of things that I've been absolutely loving. So I absolutely love that it's spring. It's like my favorite thing right now. I mean, I love all of this makeup, but the part that just makes me so happy after a really long, hard, cold winter is that it's finally spring. And dogwood's blooming, redbuds blooming, like bulbs and flowers everywhere. I love it. It's definitely my favorite thing of April has been the fact that it's officially spring where I live. Let me know what your favorites have been this month, whether it's makeup, whether it's television. I'm so sad that my favorite show, as of right now when I'm recording this, is wrapping up this weekend. American Gods is wrapping up. We're right in the middle of Game of Thrones, and that makes me happy because we're not quite at the end, forever end yet. That will be sad, but that will be later. But I have been enjoying a lot of, you know, TV shows that I can't watch with my kids. And that's okay. But there's been, you know, evenings in the bathtub with my iPad, like right on the edge going, okay, what's going on? So let me know what your favorites for this month have been. It can be makeup, it can be television, it can be food, it can be whatever. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.